The next step change for gamers and developers must deliver true 4K gaming and high fidelity VR.
Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we.
What is good, everybody? I'm Fox at Foxy Games UK, your regular aggregate source of news, rumour and video game discussion, covering the latest game news and rumour with an emphasis on PlayStation but spanning a variety of platforms. Do remember, views expressed in some of our videos are those of third parties and do not necessarily represent the views of Foxy Games UK. Follow me via Twitter at FoxyGames_UK. All relevant links can be found in this video's description. Okay, so I was trawling through the internet and I found an article just by chance that kind of exemplifies how I feel about the Xbox One X at the moment. The website in question is player2.net.au, and I'll link that in the video description. The article's title is "Why I Need Xbox to Succeed," and I'm going to read it verbatim, obviously give my impressions after. So as we all know, Microsoft is journeying into the realm of more power with the release of the Xbox One X this November. We have all heard the PR speak. The most powerful console known to man can do 4 bazillion calculations in the time it takes you to scratch your armpit and has more teraflops than a floppy terror. All of this means nothing to most people, but the key thing to take out of all of that gobbledygook is games look good, strikingly good in fact. However, despite what appears to be a beast of a machine on the way, and in my mind it is coming at a fair price, Microsoft has a problem, and that problem is a lack of exclusive titles. That is mitigated somewhat by some strong support from third-party titles like Assassin's Creed and Shadows of War, but there's no escaping the fact that Microsoft is lacking in that area of a big budget launch title for the system. Forza is great, don't get me wrong, but it isn't a mass system seller. Similarly, both Super Lucky's Tale and Cuphead look to be sensational games, but they're hardly the titles you would use to show off a graphical powerhouse. It really isn't until Sea of Thieves and Crackdown 3 arrive in early-ish 2018 that Microsoft has a title under their own banner that could be considered a system seller. This lack of titles is honestly not a great situation to be in. I think this has come out due to a range of factors. The cancellation of Scalebound, honestly, how bad a shape must it have been in for Microsoft to cancel it? And the delay of the aforementioned Crackdown 3 and some poor decision making during the initial 12 months of the Xbox One's lifespan. Games after all take a long time to develop. All this has led to Microsoft's current position, a position where they are trying to sell what appears to be a wonderful system with nothing to support it. Hopefully Microsoft has some things up their sleeve for next year, something more than Halo, because this could be the beginning of the end for Microsoft's big, or not so big anymore, black box. Honestly, this will be a bad thing not only for Xbox fans but for fans of Nintendo and Sony as well. Successful competition is the key to innovation. A competitor pushing boundaries forces others down the same path. Microsoft is traditionally a software-focused company, and it brings a unique philosophy to the marketplace, a philosophy that is very different to the more hardware-focused companies of, say, Nintendo and Sony. This different point of view brings different ideas, and while they aren't always successful, they do bring fresh ways of thinking into the games arena. That fresh thinking breeds more new ideas, and the cycle of innovation continues. What we as gamers don't need, regardless of which consoles we support, is an environment where one company is so dominant that innovation stagnates and the new ideas grind to a halt. It is a natural occurrence that when a monopoly exists, something that has happened time and time again over history, games development has always been at the forefront of technological innovation, and to stall or suppress that would be a tragedy for really everyone, and especially hurt the consumers. Xbox doesn't need to reach the PS4 in sales figures. In fact, I feel as a company they work better when they are the underdog. This status as chasing the leader has brought about some great ideas like Game Pass and backwards compatibility that probably wouldn't have come about had Microsoft held the sales lead. No, Xbox just has to be viable, to be making money on a level that has Sony looking over their shoulder just a little. That is what will keep both Sony and Microsoft in the innovation arms race, and that will lead to new, fresh and exciting experiences for gamers everywhere. This is why I need Xbox to succeed, not because I prefer the Xbox over other consoles. I do, but basically only because of that sweet, sweet Elite controller. Not because I hate Sony, because I don't, and not because I am invested in Microsoft in any way other than being a consumer, because I'm not. I need Xbox to succeed to ensure a healthy, innovative gaming environment that continues to exist. A world where companies are pushing each other to improve, to invent and take risks. This, I feel, is the healthiest spot for the video game industry. Can be moving forward. Competition can be fierce and it can get a little nasty at times, especially from the fans, but the alternative is a much darker place for gamers to contemplate. And that's where the article ends. Okay, so here's my thing. And this is why I think the article really emphasizes how I feel about the Xbox One X at the moment. And to be honest, I bit the bullet. I pre-ordered the Xbox One X Standard Edition today. Yup, so what? I'm a gamer, so sue me. I pretty much bought or pre-ordered the Xbox One X for multiplats because, having done some research, it is clear to me that the One X is going to have far more 1080p 60 frame per second, super sampled and 4K options with higher textures for multiplat games than the PS4 Pro currently has, purely because the Xbox One X has that slightly more grunt in power. Now, of course, the PS4 Pro is going to be my go-to console, my main console, because I adore Sony IP. Simple as that. But, you know, at the end of the day, I have to agree with the article. You know, we need Microsoft, a big player in the industry, to really push Sony. And at the end of the day, you know, for the money, £450 in the UK, that is not a terribly expensive amount of money to spend when you can get the likes of Rise of the Tomb Raider, you know, in some cases matching a high-end PC. Let's keep it real here. And, you know, with 60 flops, you will see more 60 frame per second options. You will see more native 4K options. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, I am jumping on the Xbox One X bandwagon. I run a channel. To be honest with you, I may not have pre-ordered the Xbox One X. If I didn't have a channel, if I didn't run a YouTube channel, I would have probably have waited for a price drop. But you only live once. And incidentally, I actually tweeted that I pre-ordered an Xbox One X today, and would you believe that 3 people, at the time of this video recording at least, 3 people have unfollowed me simply because I tweeted that I pre-ordered Xbox One X. Just how the hell does somebody else take offense with somebody's purchasing decisions with their own money? I just don't understand that. Anyone would think that I robbed their piggy bank and I'm buying the Xbox One X with their money. Some of y'all need help. So yeah, I'm getting the Xbox One X day one. Possibly we'll do an unboxing, test out some games on the Samsung 4K TV that I have, and we'll take it from there. But to be honest with you, I'm not really terribly confident about the Microsoft first-party exclusive situation, so I'm certainly not buying the One X for a healthy dose of and steady stream of exclusive games. I'm purely buying it for the better versions of multi-platform games. So I will wait for reviews or Digital Foundry, and I will look which one has the more features, options, content, and that's the multi-plat version I will buy. I'm going to continue to support the PS4 Pro for all those wonderful exclusives that are dropping this year and next and beyond. And you know, I run a channel. I'm going to, you know, regardless of how I feel about Microsoft, I've been very critical of them in the past, and I will continue to be when they put a foot wrong. But in terms of the actual hardware itself, I don't have any ill will or feeling against an inanimate object. That would be absolutely insane. You know, I'm not the fanboy a lot of people, you know, accuse me of being. So that's where I'm at. Now, very quickly, I just want to give some PS5 predictions. We've been having a bit of fun on Twitter, and mine really were 10 T-flops GPU, 16 gigabyte GDDR5, 400 plus gigabits per second memory bandwidth, some type of Ryzen variant AMD CPU, and a 2 terabyte hard drive. It's going to need it for those 4K assets. I would put the price at around $400 US, around 2019 end of, or 2020 end of, for a PS5 launch. So that's my predictions. Let us know what yours are in the comments. Also, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has won Game of the Year in Japan, and deservedly so, but not surprising, as that game is hugely popular in that territory. And also, people have been crying about the Doom 2016 running at 30 frames per second on the tablet Nintendo Switch console. Look, it's simple as this. If you play Destiny 2 on PS4 Pro or Xbox One S, and you're going to be playing it in 30 frames per second on the Xbox One X, you need to pipe down about Doom 2016 running at 30 frames per second on Nintendo Switch, because some of y'all are looking mighty stupid right now. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to leave it there. And yeah, expect me to have an Xbox One X come November 7 for the princely sum of £450. Hopefully I don't live to regret it, but I'm a gamer. So there it is. That brings us to the end of another video. For much more on Xbox One X, PS4 Pro and Nintendo Switch, keep it locked to Foxy Games UK and share your thoughts on pretty much the content of today's video. As usual, if you found any of the information in this video at all useful, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe and share the video. Immensely helpful to the channel. You can also help us grow by supporting us via Patreon, starting from just $1. You'll find a link in this video's description. Don't forget, the Gamer Couch podcast will air live this Sunday, 12 PM PT, 3 PM ET, and 8 PM BST, where we may discuss Xbox One X and my decision to pre-order it in more detail. So until next time, always play games, not corporations. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, everybody.